Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. In today's material, we'll dedicate just a few minutes to the topic of stray cats and if it's a good idea to feed them, especially on a routine basis. While there are plenty of things to be said about this topic, we're not going to attempt to reinvent the wheel. The decision to feed a stray cat or perhaps multiple cats is indeed yours. As long as you accept the responsibility and remain mindful of the potential negatives, then you're free to make your own decisions. However, because the positive aspects of feeding a stray cat in need are quite obvious, we'll somewhat slant this material, at least the video side of things, to better understand the potential negatives. We'll also have a follow up to this video coming very soon. Before we take a closer look at this subject, let's first explore today's topic overview. Feeding stray cats enables them to live a slightly more comfortable life. However, doing so will increase the local stray population, leading to other starving strays. Their hunting instincts will reduce the local wildlife population. Also, strays often carry diseases, which can be harmful to household pets and humans. Thank you to the very best audience on the feline wing of the internet for making all of this possible. Senior Cat Wellness would simply not exist without your loyal support. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. It is our mission to serve the feline community and do it with a kind heart and a smile. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to join us, and we do hope to see you again in future content. Now, is it a good idea to feed a stray cat? Let's mention the pros while detailing a few of the cons. Let's get started. Feeding a stray cat is the right thing to do. If you love cats, especially if you own cats, helping a feline in need is something most of us won't really think twice about doing. We'll just do it. While the human nature side of the equation points to yes, many animal welfare advocacy groups would have a different take on this matter. This is due to a litany of cons. Feeding strays can impact local wildlife, the people in your neighborhood, animal shelters, and the local stray population, not to mention the potential negatives that catering to a stray cat could have on your very own health and the health of others, as we mentioned in our topic overview. The good of all of this is fairly known and fairly obvious. It's more of an emotional state. However, some of the cons can fly under the radar. It must be stated that our job here at Senior Cat Wellness is certainly not to appeal to the cons, it's simply to let you know about them. And there is indeed a difference. Please keep that in mind moving forward and do whatever you see fit for your situation. Feeding a stray cat helps the feline to survive. However, there are a flurry of negatives that can arise from attempting to help out a cat in this fashion. Let's explore a few of these issues. First up, the increase in population. Feeding means better health, and better health can lead to strays mating with other strays. This can place a burden on the community, as not only will the feline population increase, but the stray population will also increase. Next up, we have the effect on local wildlife. Depending on where you reside, the feeding of stray felines can impact your local wildlife community. Stray cats kill millions of birds and mammals each year. It is estimated that feral cats account for 14% of all global bird, mammal, and reptile extinctions. Local wildlife populations can be torn under by stray cats. This can pose a great threat and a danger. While not all cats that mingle outdoors live off the land, a cat that survives without a home or that lives without a home and depends on you for food is likely doing many other things to survive. Staking territory and disposing of existing wildlife is one. Next up, we have carrying disease. Speaking of living off the land, it goes without saying that such a life is not sanitary. Stray cats carry disease. They're exposed to most anything under the sun, all types of viruses and bacteria, not to mention fleas and other parasites. This is why feeding stray and feral felines, if you choose to do so, should always be done with caution. The cat at your door has a history, and you likely have no idea where they've been, even where they've been within the last 5 or 10 minutes before showing up at your residence. This is all part of that whole accepting the responsibility angle that we noted earlier. Be very careful when feeding a cat that lives off the land. Next up, we have bothering the neighbors. Not everyone loves cats, and not everyone wants cats near or even on their property. Depending on your living environment, you could find that your personal choice to cater to a stray cat or multiple cats will just not sit well with your neighbors. If a few cats start coming around, it won't be long before your neighbors find some rather curious creatures hanging out around their home. guest that they never asked for. Stray cats can even make life hard on pets at another residence. The very last thing you want is for a stray to have a confrontation with someone's family cat or family dog. This section alone could have its very own video, as the list of potential negatives are quite numerous. The best meal for a stray cat is wet cat food, no different than any other feline. However, if cat food is not available, chicken, beef, lamb, canned tuna, and even scrambled eggs are fine alternatives. Feed the cat just a moderate amount, enough for a single meal. Also, depending on the layout of the area, place the food in a low traffic zone. You don't want to have the cat fall victim to a predator, animal or otherwise, because they're distracted by a meal and looking away and having their back turned. If possible, simply hang out in the general area of the cat until all of the food has been eaten. You can act as somewhat of a traffic cop. It becomes easier to take this posture if you've been feeding the same stray for months and the cat has developed a level of trust and routine with you. If you provide the cat food out of a cup or a can, more specifically the original packaging, be sure to discard the remnants as soon as possible. And on that note, that will conclude things for the video portion of this material. However, if you'd like to know more about the pros and cons of feeding stray cats, please be sure to head on over to seniorcatwellness.com. At the conclusion of today's presentation, there you will find a high-quality article dedicated to everything we've talked about here today and so much more, including positive measures that you can take to support stray and feral felines that go beyond just feeding. You can find our written content by clicking the initial link in the description box below. And once again, if you enjoyed what we brought to the table here today and would like to see and hear more, please like and share the video and subscribe to the SeniorCatWellness.com official YouTube channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And until our paths cross again, and I certainly hope they do, we'd like to thank you once again for joining us today. Please have a wonderful day. All the best to you and yours, and we will talk to you later.